Last year, myself and the team visited Camp 116 in Essex to explore some of the abandoned buildings and see if any paranormal activity was occurring at the site. Overall, the evening was fairly quiet, however we were able to record a few unexplainable events on camera, and after sharing the video, a number of our viewers requested that we return for a full nighttime investigation. And so, here we are, back at Camp 116. Built in 1941, prisoner of war camp 116 went on to house 1,500 Italian, Austrian and later on German soldiers that were captured in the European and North African theatres of the Second World War. Unlike many of the German POW camps on the continent, the conditions here were relatively good. Deemed to low risk due to no political Nazis being held, the prisoners spent most of their days put to work on the local farms, assisting the community with agriculture as well as many other manual jobs. There's a number of accounts from locals at the time who regarded many of the prisoners as friendly and polite, and they were often invited into households for meals and generally integrated into the community as a whole, to the extent that a number of them actually stayed behind after the war, marrying into local families and living in the nearby towns and villages. Now, although the soldiers were technically prisoners here, I think this does go to show that a lot of the locals didn't regard them as an enemy in any way, shape or form and treated them as human beings. And there's actually accounts from a number of soldiers here as well who said they didn't mind their time living at the camp. And I'm sure for a lot of them it would have been a fairly interesting experience, meeting new people, living in a different country and learning new skills whilst working on the farms. Today, many of the original buildings remain, albeit in very poor condition. The prisoner living huts are in the worst state of all, being made from asbestos-lined timber, which are extremely dangerous to enter. Many have now almost entirely collapsed. The guardhouses and other facilities, however, are in slightly better condition, and it's around this area that the majority of tonight's investigation will be taking place. Although reports of paranormal events at the camp are few and far between, with to our knowledge only a handful of investigations being performed by other groups, it was what we encountered on our last visit that led us to return today. I suppose the strangest thing about this place is that although it was a prison camp, by all accounts nothing particularly bad happened here. A lot of the soldiers, by all accounts, said it was a fairly reasonable place to live and work. So why this place would be haunted is a bit of a mystery really, because a lot of the time we personally believe that strong emotions and places that have been used for a long time, especially religious sites as well, which again ties in with strong emotions, that's what creates hauntings, but there's none of that here. However, when we investigated before as part of Ghost Stops, I'm pretty sure we did record some strange events.
We recorded something really weird in this very room as well, but before there was all these little mirror things hanging up. There's
reflective pieces of paper hanging up on a piece of string.
There was, I think there's one of them still in the other room.
Yeah,
still hanging up. So what we recorded there, that could potentially be something going on with the IR lights reflecting off the mirrors, or IR lights that are off camera on different cameras reflecting in different ways. We're not really sure, but from what we've seen when we look back on that video, there does seem to be a kind of human form to whatever it is.
We've not seen anywhere else where it's kind of had that kind of...
No, well, we were saying on the way over that we were filming in that room for a little while.
Yeah.
With all those things everywhere, we would have recorded similar stuff at some point. Whether this was like a coincidence because of the two different mirrors that are hanging up got reflecting in the same direction at the same time and created some sort of weird visual form from the IR lights, we don't know. But if anything, we did capture something here.
I mean, as soon as, because I think when we first came it was late at night, it was like our first visit, the instant vibe that you get is really creepy. I mean, coming back here in the day, it doesn't feel that different. It still feels a little bit eerie.
That could be because
it's daytime and we've been here before.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm really looking forward to tonight and hoping that.
I mean, again, why it would be haunted is unknown. Maybe it is just some kind of residual imprint from the time it was a prison camp. Maybe there's something else going on. But I certainly think there's definitely something here, and I think we're in for a chance of documenting or recording something, however big or small it might be.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.